Hello and a very warm welcome to this session. Today we are going to talk about Introduction to Feminist Theory. Before going into that, we have already discussed about the basic concepts of feminism. We have also dealt about the four waves of feminism: the first wave, the second wave, the third wave, and the fourth wave. What are their characteristics, the historical movements. Also, we have done the key figures of these waves. Also, we have also talked about the important works of these feminist writers. Now we are going to talk about the introduction of to feminist theory, and about this we'll be coming across certain terms which we have already done in the previous waves. Also, we will be reading some of the new terms of this feminist theory today. So let's begin with the key concepts of this feminist theory. Number one, the very beginning, the patriarchy. This social system is structured in such a way that is giving men the primary power and allowing them to dominate in roles of political leadership, moral authority, social privilege, and control over property. And thus, the feminist theory is trying to critique this system of kind of privileging the one gender over the other and pointing out how it perpetuates gender inequalities and aiming to work towards dismantling it. Next is Next, we can see intersectionality. Again, as we know, this is coined by Kimberly Crenshaw, and it is a framework that is helping us to understand how different forms of oppression like racism, classism, sexism can intersect and exacerbate each other, making things more worse. And again, this concept is very important to understand and address the unique struggles faced by women, especially those who are a part of multiple marginalized groups. Next is gender performativity, and again it is proposed by Judith Butler, and this concept is trying to showcase that gender is not a static identity, rather it's a fluid identity, and it's a series of repeated actions and behaviors from that is forming one's behavior and identity, one's gender identity, and this performance is actually trying to question the traditional binary perception of gender. Next, moving on to the standpoint theory is positing that marginalized groups, particularly women, can offer unique and valuable perspectives on social phenomena due to their distinct experiences of oppression. So standpoint theory emphasizes on the importance of diverse voices in knowledge production. Another key concept in feminist theory is male gaze. The concept of male gaze, as defined by Laura Mulvey, pertains to the depiction of women in visual arts and literature from a predominantly heterosexual masculine viewpoint, often portraying women as objects of male desire. So feminist theory offers a critical perspective on the male gaze, promoting to the need for genuine and respectful portrayals of women. So here is a list of the major waves of feminism, all the four waves of feminism, and we will be revising. We have all discussed these waves. We'll be revising it. First wave, 19th to early 20th century, focusing on legal issues, primarily women's suffrage and property rights. Key figures were Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Second wave began from 1960s to 1980s, addressing a broader range of issues including workplace discrimination, reproductive rights, sexuality. Who are the prominent activists? They are Betty Friedan, Gloria Steinem, Simone de Beauvoir. Third wave again it began from 1990s to present, and it is going on and ongoing, and it is emphasizing on the inclusivity, intersectionality, emphasizing diversity, LGBTQIA plus individuals, women from global south, and it is challenging the essentialism of earlier waves and embracing more fluid understanding of gender and identity. Fourth wave from 2010 from and onwards, and it is characterized by the use of digital media for activism, addressing issues such as sexual harassment, body positivity, online misogyny. We see the examples, hashtag #MeToo movement, significant example of this wave, fourth wave feminism. So we are going to move towards the method. So first method is content analysis. This is the method where media, literature and cultural artifacts are examined to understand that how gender is represented, to identify patterns of sexism and stereotyping. This is content analysis. Ethnography, again, this is a kind of method where it conducts in-depth studies of communities to explore how gender roles and relations are constructed and maintained in different cultural contexts. Next method is oral histories. It is a kind of collecting personal narratives and testimonies to document the experiences of women and marginalized groups that are often overlooked in traditional historical accounts. Next methodology is discourse analysis. It is a method where language, text, communication practices are analyzed to uncover the ways in which gendered power relations are produced and reinforced. So, moving on to the critiques and challenges. Moving on to the critiques and challenges, now we are going to talk about essentialism, exclusivity, and postmodern critiques. To begin with, essentialism, the tendency to treat women's experiences as homogeneous and ignoring the diversity of experiences among women of different races, colors, class, sexual orientation, and cultural backgrounds. So this kind of point feminism is critiquing. Exclusivity, where when we see the early feminist movements, those have been criticized for focusing predominantly on the concerns of white middle class women, and it kind of excluded women of color, the marginalized groups, working class women and other minority groups. Third is postmodern critique, where some scholars argue that feminist theories should move beyond the binary understanding of gender and embrace more fluid and fragmented ideas. So challenging, therefore challenging the notion of a unified woman's experiences. To conclude with, feminist theory is dynamic and it's evolving field that is continuing to challenge and expand our understanding of gender, power, and society, and by addressing to the intersections of various forms of oppression and advocating for inclusive and equitable social change. This feminist theory remains a crucial framework for analyzing and transforming the world. So here is a list of references. So here is a list of books which you can go through for understanding feminist theory. Now in this series, in this video specifically, I have discussed and tried to kind of get a holistic picture of what feminist theory is all about. If you have missed all those videos, even if you can see this video, you can understand the concepts and some of the key ideas of what the feminist theory is all about. Keep learning and we'll again meet in the next video. Happy learning all of you.